Introduction to Male God starting from self-discipline. Disclaimer. This is a casual novel with a style of systematic flow, male God flow, and daily flow. If you feel uncomfortable, goodbye to the next book. During his rebirth in college, Chen found a self-disciplined male God system, where disciplined behavior can receive generous rewards. In system terms, all choices are in your hands, and your future achievements will depend on your decisions in the next second. Chen lives a lifetime again, vowing to live a wonderful life and become a disciplined male God. Of course, in your spare time, go to various parts of the world to enjoy delicious food and beautiful scenery, while also playing outdoor sports such as skiing, rock climbing, surfing, and so on. Chen. What I am pursuing is not self-discipline, but the absolute freedom bestowed upon me by self-discipline. Chapter 1. Self-Disciplined God. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Dior Cafe. Chen sat by the window, staring blankly out of his mind. The coffee in his hand was steaming hot, warming his palms but not his cold heart. There was also a cup of coffee placed in the opposite position, but the seat was empty. In less than 5 minutes, the girl on the blind date hurriedly left. In the topic, things that cannot be avoided are houses, cars, jobs, savings, and so on. Chen thought to himself, shouldn't he be single for a lifetime? He had talked about several relationships before, but ultimately lost to reality. With a self-deprecating smile, Chen gently placed the cup in his hand on the table and immediately stood up to the checkout counter to settle the bill. The music in the coffee shop changed to the next one. Mao Bai is someone like me. An excellent person like me should have lived a brilliant life. How did more than 20 years come to an end still floating and sinking in the sea of people? A smart person like me saying goodbye to simplicity long ago. Why did you still use a relationship? Go get a new set of scars. As Chen walked to the door, his footsteps stopped and his heartstrings trembled. His eyes were filled with loneliness, confusion, and hesitation, but in the end, he smiled somewhat helplessly. On the street, under the night light, Chen took out his phone and dialed his mother's number. "Hello, Xiaohe, how are you?" The voice that my mother was looking forward to came from the microphone. Chen remained silent for a few seconds before his deep voice rang out, "That girl didn't like me." The microphone paused for 5 or 6 seconds. "It's okay, I have a nice girl here. It was introduced by your aunt. Let's talk about it later." "Okay," Chen responded with a wooden tone. Chen walked aimlessly on the street, feeling suffocated and without anyone to confide in. The world of adults collapses silently. A dazzling white light shot from afar, making people unable to open their eyes, accompanied by an urgent whistle. Darkness enveloped him like a massive black hole, completely devouring him. Before Chen could make a sound in his throat, he lost consciousness. Wake up, class is over, don't fall asleep." There was a commotion in his ear, and Chen opened his eyes. A round and chubby baby face appeared in his line of sight. From unfamiliarity to familiarity, Xiao Yu. "Why are you here?" Chen emitted a soul doubt. "Isn't this guy in the Magic City? It seems like he hasn't seen him in 3 years. Damn it. Are you sleeping soundly? Where am I when I'm not here?" Xiao Yu looked at him speechlessly, with a look of intellectual disability on his face. The confusion in Chen eyes gradually became clear. Looking at the familiar university classroom in front of him, those clear eyes transformed into surprise and ecstasy. Time has turned back. The layman returned and restarted the university dungeon. "Hurry up." Xiao Yu became impatient and said, "If you go a little later, there won't be any chance. The internet cafe next to the school is a good business thief. Today is Friday again, so if you go late, you won't be able to grab a spot." "Where are we going? What machine?" Chen was stunned for a moment. Xiao Yu's mentality exploded and he said, "Can I call you Brother Chiu? You agreed to go to an internet cafe with me and start a blacklist. Are you going to back out?" Chen Chiu suddenly realized that he was going to an internet cafe to play games. Alas, it's been several years since graduation, and I've never been to an internet cafe again. I've almost forgotten the feeling of going to an internet cafe to play games all night. As Chen Chiu was hesitating whether to go or not, a mechanical prompt suddenly sounded in his mind. Ding, the host faces two choices. First, agree to let your roommate play games at an internet cafe, and you will receive the title of game expert. Second, refuse the game invitation and go to the library to read books. You will receive a learning incentive of 500 yuan and 50 points of self-discipline. Is it a system? Chen Chiu ate whales, and it was already a pleasant surprise for ordinary people to come back with a system. God dotes on him too much, doesn't he? Hello host, it's my pleasure to serve you. The full name of this system is the Self-Disciplined Male God System, which aims to help the host develop strong self-discipline habits. Of course, during this process, the system will also reward the host based on their performance. For example, if the current host level is level 1, your self-discipline behavior will receive a reward of 0.1 yuan per second. When you level up to level 2, your self-discipline behavior will receive a reward of 0.2 yuan per second, and so on. Meanwhile, in your daily life, the system will also release some tasks or choices based on real-time situations, and you can take actions according to the situation. This system will not do anything unfavorable to you, and all choices are in your hands. Your future achievements will depend on your decisions in the next second. Originally, it was a self-discipline type system. Chen Chiu was stunned, and his original intention was the same. He had expired promises many times before, and it was necessary to do something new. However, change requires strong perseverance, not just words. Thinking about the various experiences in his past life in society, Chen Chiu doesn't want to go through it again. Starting over is already a great blessing, and he should learn to cherish it. Chen Chiu grabbed Xiao Yu's hand and, under his bewildered gaze, said, "Old Xiao, it's not that I'm not with you, it's really me." Before he could finish speaking, Xiao Yu shook him off with disdain and said, "I can go to your uncle's house. If you plan to forget your true feelings when you see him, just speak up. It's not the first time, so don't be hypocritical to me." Chen Chiu exclaimed in shock, "No. I actually want to go to the library to read books. Isn't this too depraved lately? I feel really guilty when looking for the book garden www.zhaosuiyuan.com. Don't beep anymore." Xiao Yu sneered, "I still trust you when you say you're going on a date. Are you going to the library to read? Are you reading Uncle Huang? I'm too lazy to talk to you, I'll go first." Xiao Yu said, "Old Chen, let me tell you, next time I'll ask you to go to an internet cafe, I'll live stream and eat shit." Looking at Xiao Yu's lonely back, Chen Chiu muttered, "I really went to the library to read books. Why don't you believe me? Ding, you have chosen to go to the library to read books, earn 50 points of self-discipline, and receive a learning incentive fund of 500 yuan, which has been transferred to your bank account. Your savings card account with card number 5323 transferred 500 yuan at 17.40 on April 15, with a balance of 1230.58 yuan. Construction Bank." Chen Chiu looked at the text message on his phone with a surprised expression on his face. The system is not deceiving me either. Go to an internet cafe overnight, wallet .20, go to the library to read, wallet plus 500. Xiao Yu, don't blame me, even a fool can make the right choice. Although it was time for dinner, Chen Chiu was not hungry at all. Next destination. Library. Coming out of the teaching building, Chen Chiu looked at the students entering and leaving, as well as the unique youthful atmosphere of the campus, and his mood was indescribably joyful. Chen Chiu. Chen was walking forward when suddenly someone behind him called his name. What caught the eye was a tall, thin girl with short hair and black framed glasses. She was wearing small white shoes, sports pants, a loose hoodie, and a loose-fitting style that stretched out her slender figure. Chapter 2. Refusing Dining Invitations. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Everything about her flashed quickly in Chen mind, and in the end, 3 words emerged. Li Hanyang. Li Hanyang and he are from the same department, both from the School of Information Engineering. They teach in the same building, but not in the same class. Chen met her in a club, and both of them are members of the Weichen Society. The so-called Weichen Society belongs to a volunteer service club that regularly organizes activities to care for and comfort cleaners, elderly people living alone, nursing homes, and others, contributing their own love. Past memories are being pulled out and gradually become clear. Li Hanyang has some interest in him, and Chen knows it in his heart. However, at that time he was secretly in love with a girl in the same class, Liaoya, so he could only pretend to be confused with a clear understanding. Li Hanyang, what's up? Chen asked. Li Hanyang pushed his black-framed glasses at the tip of his nose and whispered, tomorrow's club has an activity to volunteer at a nursing home. Why didn't you sign up? Ah. Chen was stunned for a moment, completely unaware of this matter. He had just been reborn and had not sorted out his thoughts. He must not be able to participate in club activities. If there's something to do tomorrow, I won't go. Li Hanyang nodded and didn't leave. Instead, she continued, a new hot pot restaurant has opened near the school, which is quite nice. Do you want to go with me? It's my treat. I've been wanting to eat hot pot lately, but I haven't found a suitable person to join me. Ah. Chen was somewhat moved. Despite Li Hanyang's ordinary attire, big black-framed glasses, and no makeup on, he looked plain and unadorned. In fact, her facial features are very upright, but she doesn't like to pay attention to dressing up. Ding, it's time for the host to make a choice again. Firstly, if you agree to Li Hanyang's invitation for a meal, the host will be awarded the title of Sister in Greeting Expert. Secondly, if you refuse Li Hanyang's invitation for a meal and continue reading at the library, you will receive a learning incentive of 1,000 yuan and 100 points of self-discipline. System, you are tempting me to eat fruits. Sorry about that. Chen smiled apologetically and said, I didn't understand today's math class. I need to go to the library to add another class, so. Next time. Oh. Okay. Li Hanyang pursed his lips, with a disappointed expression in his eyes, but it was quickly concealed. Then you go, I'll leave first. Goodbye. Chen looked at Li Hanyang's departing figure and shrugged helplessly. In fact, even without systematic rewards, Chen still has to go to the library. As a destitute youth who has experienced the vicissitudes of society, Chen cherishes this opportunity for rebirth immensely. He has experienced a much more profound love story in society than on campus. Only by strengthening oneself can one achieve emotional freedom. Ding, you have rejected Li Hanyang's invitation to make a meal and received a learning incentive of 1,000 yuan, as well as 100 points of self-discipline. Your card number 5323, transferred 1,000 yuan to China Construction Bank, Library. There were a lot of people coming to study on Friday night, and Chen looked around for a while before finding a corner spot. He took out his high school textbook and sat straight, ready to start reviewing from the first chapter. Chen is not trying to cope, he really wants to change himself. This is just the beginning. If the chain is broken at the beginning, the experience of the previous life will continue to repeat. 1 hour later. Chen face showed a helpless expression. Although he forced himself to focus, he still learned to be lonely. He hasn't touched the textbook for several years, and the content inside is already unfamiliar. And the desire to learn is not strong anymore. Okay, not at all. If this continues, one will definitely fail the final exam. Cheer up. Continue. Don't give up easily. Men cannot say no. 2 hours later. Chen was solving problems in a notebook with a pen in his hand, his expression focused. Ding, congratulations to the host. After studying continuously for 3 hours, you received a monetary reward of 1,500 yuan and 150 points of self-discipline, your ending number. Transferred to 1,500 yuan. Construction bank, Chen came to his senses from studying. The system rewards 1,500 ocean dollars again. Going on like this, earning over 10,000 a month is not a dream. How many students can earn over 10,000 yuan per month during their college years? It's good not to ask for living expenses at home. I looked at my phone and before I knew it, it was already past 9 o'clock. The library is basically empty. Take the road back to the mansion. Chen packed his books and left the library. Dormitory. There is no one left. Cold and desolate. Chen is not surprised, there are a total of 4 people in their 209 dormitory. Photography expert Fang Shuyao is either taking photos or on the way of taking photos. One of them is those who can earn over 10,000 yuan per month while working part-time during their school years. The other 3 envied not only his income, but also his ability to attract girls. He spent more time in the hotel than in the dormitory. Gay maniac Xiao Yu, either in the internet cafe or on the way to the internet cafe, is a hardcore customer of the internet cafe. On a certain holiday, I stayed in an internet cafe for 5 days, truly a divine being. I can only say one thing, bully glass. Scholar Tan Hongwen is either studying or on the way to learning. Never waste time on other meaningless things. If one day you see him playing games, it must be his twin brothers. Chen himself loves playing games, but he is not as obsessed as Xiao Yu. Learning is also okay, not as smart and hardworking as Tan Hongwen. Photography is a bit superficial, but working part-time to earn money is a joke. The only thing that stands out is probably playing the guitar well, but it has long been abandoned. Singing is okay, but it can't be eaten as a meal. After washing up, Chen lay on the bed. It's still early, Chen brought paper and pen, ready to make a plan for the next life. Learning is just one aspect. For Chen self-discipline basically includes the following core elements. 1. Control the body. 2. Control time. 3. Resist temptation. 4. Reading and learning. 5. Breaking personal bottlenecks. Leaving aside the rest, the body is the foundation of everything. Chen has a deep understanding of this. Zhaoshuyuan.com. In the years after graduation, when I started working, I sat in the office every day, did very little exercise, and stayed up late and worked overtime, which was also normal. My health was deteriorating day by day, and I was really afraid that one day I would suddenly die in my job. Therefore, maintaining good physical health is the most important. So, he first developed a fitness plan for himself. After finishing the plan, Chen put away the paper and pen. After checking the time, it was not yet 11 o'clock break time, so I decided to check the system. Host. Chen current level. 1 experience required for upgrade. 0/10,000, self-discipline, account amount. 0, note. The current hosting level is 1, and the host will get 0.1 yuan per second for self-discipline behavior. The data of the day will be updated at 12:00 every night, and the account amount can be withdrawn to bank cards, Alipay, WeChat and other storage accounts at any time. The host does not need to worry about the security of the account, and all the money sources in the system are legal and reasonable. Please rest assured that you can use them. Although the data is not yet available, according to this rule, if we calculate self-discipline for 5 hours a day, it would cost 1,800 yuan, let alone more than 5 hours. The daily class time, if one is fully focused on studying, is 8 hours, which can also be considered a way of self-discipline. If you have super self-control, you can achieve a self-discipline time of 10 hours, which is 3,600 yuan. In the future, if you upgrade, the rewards will naturally increase. The saying that you reap what you sow is entirely based on your own choices, which is very fair. 11 o'clock. Chen rested on time. Without the pressure of a garage, my heart is completely happy and relaxed. I can have a good night's sleep tonight. Chapter 3. Old Chen, did you go to KFC? You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. At 6 o'clock, the alarm rings on time. Chen opened his eyes, drowsy and trying to erode his will. Struggle and hesitation appeared on his face. But his previous experiences have strengthened his gaze, and the system's rewards have also provided him with motivation. If you can't even wake up on time, then what about self-discipline? The carp roll skill is triggered. Chen sat up straight, got dressed as quickly as possible, and finished washing up. At this moment, a system prompt sound rang in my mind. Congratulations to the host, wake up on time and receive a monetary reward of 200 yuan. Self-discipline is 20 points. Please continue to maintain it. Your card number 5323, transferred 200 yuan to China Construction Bank, this wonderful voice. Instantly refreshed. Hee. Chen eyebrows lit up with joy, and his heart was filled with joy. Maintain self-discipline and you can reach the pinnacle of life. A cool and refreshing morning after 6 o'clock. There are only a few scattered people on the playground, and most of them are still sleeping soundly under the covers. Chen stretched his muscles and bones, took a deep breath, and immediately started moving on the track. In terms of fitness, Chen plans to earn enough funds to register for a gym and hire a private education system to learn. This way, he can achieve faster results. Relying solely on his own exploration can easily lead to detours, and it is not worth the loss if he exercises his body again. Perhaps due to not exercising for a long time, Chen ran 3 laps around the 400-meter playground and became panting. However, he did not stop and relied on perseverance to make 2 more laps. The purpose of Chen exercise is not only to improve his physical fitness, but also to achieve his goals of 8-pack abs and mermaid line, which have always been desired but not achieved. This time, it must be done. Next, Chen did 50 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. After this intense exercise, my whole body feels a bit limp, and my muscles are sore. Ding, congratulations to the host. For the first morning exercise, you will receive a monetary reward of 1,000 yuan and 100 points of self-discipline. Please continue to maintain it. Are there rewards again? What an intoxicating voice. Chen was stunned for a moment, then a happy smile appeared on his face, and the soreness on his body was swept away. Strolling on the playground, Chen was sweating profusely, with a gentle breeze blowing and a hint of coolness. Chen checked the system while walking. Host. Chen current level. 1 experience required for upgrade. 300/10,000, self-discipline, account amount. 1520. The data from yesterday has been updated, and the account amount is 1,520 yuan, which indicates that the self-discipline time yesterday was about 4 hours. Chen estimated that the data is basically consistent. Plus the extra reward money from the system, it's equivalent to earning a total of over 4,000 yuan yesterday. Just now, we harvested another 1,000 ocean. Woohoo, take off. I remember when I first graduated, my monthly salary was only about 4,000 yuan, but now I can earn 4,000 yuan a day. It's really satisfying. Chen was ecstatic in his heart, with an uncontrollable smile on his face. This is only the first day, and the rewards for the future can be imagined. The future is promising. And the system also explained that there is no need to worry about the source of money, the system solves everything. What he needs to do is to continue self-discipline. Chen was sweating all over and now he wants to take a comfortable hot bath. However, the school bathhouse can only be opened in the afternoon, and sometimes there are boiler maintenance issues. In short, taking a shower on campus is very troublesome. It seems that I need to rent a house outside as soon as possible, otherwise it's really inconvenient, Chen muttered to himself. After all, he has been away from campus life for many years, and these years he has been living alone and has long been accustomed to it. Now returning to campus dormitories is a bit awkward. Mainly unable to take a shower in a timely manner, unable to cook, and lacking private space. On the way back to the dormitory from the playground. At the intersection shaded by green trees, I happened to encounter Xiao Yu who had returned from the internet cafe. What? Xiao Yu looked bewildered. Seeing Chen at this time surprised him quite a bit. Yo, Joel, Chen said with a smile, did you have a good time last night? Don't let my absence diminish your enthusiasm for the game. What happened yesterday? Xiao Yu had forgotten all about it a long time ago, and now he is more curious about Chen abnormal behavior. We've been sleeping for almost a year now, and it's the first time I've seen you wake up so early. You're lying down. You wouldn't have gone to that girl's KFC, would you? No, KFC shouldn't have come out so early either. Xiao Yu couldn't tear apart his sister, and the baby's plump round face was full of doubts. Get out of here. Don't guess. Chen glanced at him and quickly regained his composure. I ran away in the morning, and I want to be a disciplined person in the future. I can't fall with you anymore. I suggest you learn from me. What? Xiao Yu widened his eyes, appearing extremely shocked. He immediately pointed to his forehead and sneered, Brother Chiu, is there nothing wrong with us? I have acquaintances in the hospital who can offer a 20% discount, but I don't think we can accept payment. I broke your bone first. Chen pretended to kick, and Xiao Yu was so scared that he dodged. Without much explanation, Chen tilted his head and said, go have breakfast. I've eaten it, you can go by yourself. I'll go back to the dormitory to catch up on my sleep. I'm looking for the Shuyuan website www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Xiao Yu didn't delve into Chen abnormal behavior. He's almost sleepy now and needs to go to the dormitory to sleep in the dark. Chen went alone to have breakfast outside of school. On the street at the south gate, there is a row of breakfast shops. What Chen remembers deeply is that there is a soup with pepper shop there, which tastes very good. It is delicious with deep-fried dough sticks. At this time, there aren't many people having breakfast, so Chen found a seat to sit down and consider today's arrangements while eating. There are no classes on Saturday, so I have to arrange the whole day by myself. What he can do now is nothing more than studying and exercising. Learning goes without saying, just go to the library or study room. For fitness, Chen believes it is necessary to find a gym and take a shower directly after exercising, avoiding the embarrassment of not being able to take a shower in time. Shijue Gym. This gym belongs to the category of swimming and fitness. The first floor is a swimming pool, and the second floor is a fitness room. The equipment is complete, the venue is spacious, and the environment in all aspects is also good. During breakfast, Chen roughly searched for nearby gyms on his phone, and by comparison, this one was considered the most satisfactory. And it's very close to the school, making it convenient to travel back and forth. Chen consulted and found that the annual fee is 2,699 yuan, which is 3,999 yuan for 2 years. In the lounge, after the male salesperson finished introducing him, Chen immediately said, let's get it for a year first. If the experience is good, we can renew it after the expiration date. In his previous life, Chen had also joined several gyms, but at the beginning, he went to them more diligently. Later on, he gradually didn't go much, which is also the state of most people going to gyms. This time, we can never be the same as before, hastily handle things. Chapter 4. The road few people walk. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Having successfully applied for membership, Chen went to the gym on the second floor. Chen was also familiar with these instruments and didn't ask the coach to explain them to him, so he sent them away directly. Because these coaches will sell courses to you as they speak, which is annoying. Chen first warmed up on the treadmill and then arrived at the equipment area. Just now, after recharging the membership, Chen took a personal fat test. His physique belongs to a moderate physique that is neither fat nor thin, with a high body fat percentage and some soft and fluffy fat on his body. What Chen needs to do is to reduce excessive fat, engage in systematic and planned fitness, reduce body fat percentage, and convert soft and smooth fat into firm muscles. He stayed in the gym for nearly 2 hours and did the following basic training. 6 groups of abdominal exercises, with 15 beats per group. 5 groups of high back pull-down exercises, with 12 beats per group. 6 sets of skipping rope training, with 100 jumps per set. 2 kilometers non-stop running exercise. During this period, I observed the training methods of other fitness experts and also observed the teaching methods of gym private tutoring. Chen noticed that there are approximately 6 coaches here, 4 male coaches and 2 female coaches. According to Chen logical thinking, as a coach, one must first have a qualified physique. Practice is better than theory, and your own physique is very tight. What qualifications do you have to teach others? So those coaches with inadequate physique have been blacklisted by Chen. There is a male coach whose physique looks really good, which can be considered Chen ideal figure. He doesn't like that kind of explosive muscular man, but just wants his muscles to have the beauty of lines and layers. Despite sweating profusely, Chen felt comfortable all over. The key is that you can finally take a hot shower. The shower head sprayed hot water, moistening the whole body along the skin. Chen let out a cheerful and gloomy sound, while washing and checking the system's condition. When I was exercising just now, there were several system prompts that the sound was on. I didn't have time to check at that time, so I happened to check. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have registered for the gym and completed your first workout, earning a monetary reward of 2,000 yuan, 200 points of self-discipline, 1 fitness training plan, 1 fitness recipe, and 1 weight loss card. Please continue to maintain it. The rewards are getting richer and richer. Chen hummed a tune and felt particularly happy. Continue to check, there are other rewards besides monetary rewards. Fitness training plan. A training plan developed by the system based on the host's physical condition. The host will train according to this plan, and their physical health and mental state will be significantly improved within 1 month. Within 3 months, they will reach the host's expected goals. Fitness recipe. A unique recipe developed in conjunction with a fitness training plan. Weight loss card. After use, there is a 10% chance to offset the calories consumed by the host during meals, and multiple cards can be stacked for use. Hey! This fat loss card is a good thing. Chen eyes lit up. For example, if I ate hot pot and consumed 500 calories, using this fat loss card would offset the 500 calories. There's no need to worry about gaining weight, this TM is the ultimate weight loss tool. Unfortunately, there is only a 10% chance of triggering, and the chance of failure is high. It depends on luck. Give it a try when you have the opportunity to have a big meal. Chen took a brief look at the fitness plan and recipe. It has to be said that a system produced must be a masterpiece. With this, what more private education is needed? Coming out of the gym and passing by a bookstore, Chen went in and bought 2 books. One is Jane Austen's Reason and Emotion, and the other is Scott's The Road Few Take, both of which are books he didn't have the patience to read. Someone used to like to recommend book lists to him, but he never had the patience to read them. But now when you have the patience to read, that person has already left you. There are always regrets in life, no matter how many times you are reborn, there is no absolute perfection. Chen looked at the time, and at 9:10 in the morning, he pondered and prepared to get a haircut and buy some clothes. When he was in school, he liked to have long hair, but based on his current preferences, it felt awkward, especially when exercising, which felt very inconvenient. Coming out of the barber shop, Chen flowing long hair had turned into an inch long. It's said to be an inch long, but it's still longer than an inch long. It looks like it's really a lot of spiritual sunshine. Immediately, he went to a nearby shopping mall and bought 2 sets of casual wear, 2 black and white duckbill hats, 2 sets of fitness clothes, and 2 pairs of sports shoes. Returning to the dormitory, Xiao Yu was still sleeping like a piglet, probably not waking up until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Chen changed into new clothes and shoes, wore a white duckbill cap, packed a few books, and left the dormitory again. Walking on the shady path, Chen felt relaxed and happy in his heart. He had experienced the difficulties and hardships of society, and campus life was particularly precious. Going to the library to read and study became a pleasure. At the crossroads of a cross-shaped road, 2 beautiful girls holding hands walk along the side, one with slightly curled hair and the other with long black hair straight combed in ponytails. Both of them have beautiful faces and exquisite makeup, and their dressing is also very particular. Walking on the road, they will unconsciously attract the attention of men. As the 2 were chatting and laughing, the girl with slightly curled long hair suddenly looked surprised and stared at the boy wearing a hat in front of her on the left. She exclaimed, "Is that Chen?" It's really Chen." The girl with a ponytail also exclaimed in surprise, giving her affirmation. "I didn't notice before, but this guy looks quite handsome in his outfit." As the saying goes, a man relies on his clothes and a horse on his saddle. Chen appearance is not bad, but he has tidied up and improved his clothing. His appearance and temperament have also improved by 2 levels, meeting the standards of a handsome man in the eyes of girls. Girls, just like boys, tend to unconsciously take a few more glances at good-looking bags, especially since they are still boys in the same class. As the distance got closer, Chen also noticed the 2 girls in front of him, and his past memories came to mind, becoming clearer. Liao Ye and Du Yue. As a classmate, Chen impression is quite profound. He had a crush on one of them, Liao Ye, but was told after confessing that the 2 were not suitable. For this, he still struggled for a while. However, at this time, I am still in a state of secret love and have not initiated a confession. In college, people like Liao Ye and Du Yue, who have beautiful faces and know how to tidy up and dress themselves, naturally attract the admiration of many boys and are revered as goddesses in their hearts. At that time, Chen was no exception, carrying love and hoping to win the favor of the goddess. Of course, for Chen who was reborn, he naturally did not have such thoughts. Nowadays, his thoughts have already changed. Instead of pursuing high and mighty goddesses like a humble and pleasing pursuit, it is better for him to excel in himself and become the goal pursued by others. If you bloom, butterflies will come. However, since they met, Chen naturally wouldn't pretend not to know each other, but greeted them with a faint smile. "Hello, 2 beautiful women. Are you dressed so beautifully and going on a date?" "What date?" "Let's go shopping, okay?" The ponytail girl, also known as Du Yue, responded with a smile, perhaps happy to be praised for her beauty, with a hint of coquettishness in her tone. Liao Ye glanced at him in surprise and said with a faint smile, "Suddenly dressed up so handsome today, I think you're on a date, right?" A single dog is not suitable for a date. Chen patted the book in his hand and chuckled, "I'll go to the library to read, otherwise I'll fail the exam." After a few simple greetings, Chen smiled lightly and said, "I won't delay you from going shopping. I'll go over first." "Goodbye, goodbye, Looking at Chen departing figure, Du Yue exclaimed in surprise, "Last time when I was singing, Chen blushed when talking to you and was extremely attentive to you. I thought he was interested in you at one point. But just now, he gave me a completely different feeling, not like the same person. To be honest, he's a bit handsome." Liao Ye stared at Chen back for a few seconds and then whispered, "It really feels different, indescribable. If he wants to pursue you, will you agree?" Du Weiwei gossiped. Liao Ye chuckled and said, "You don't know me yet. I'm not interested in the boys in school, I always feel like they're too childish." "I know, do you like the mature and steady type of uncle?" Chapter 5. Black silk, hanging straps, and zero pleated skirts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Library. Today is Saturday, and there are fewer people coming to the library to read, with a large number of available seats. Chen found a seat and immediately took out his linear algebra textbook and exercises to prepare for learning. During his college years, advanced mathematics and linear algebra were his weaknesses, not to mention his clumsiness. Ultimately, he didn't listen attentively in class, thinking that he could unleash himself in college, but who knew it was a new starting point. Chen took a breath, sat up straight, and focused on studying math problems. The process of learning is undoubtedly dull and uninteresting, not as enjoyable as watching jokes or playing games. But if you immerse yourself and solve one problem after another, you will feel a special sense of achievement. Time passes quickly without realizing it. Ding, congratulations to the host. After studying continuously for 3 hours, you will receive a learning incentive of 1,500 yuan and 150 points of self-discipline. The system prompted the sound and pulled Chen back to reality from the sea of questions. So fast. It's almost 2 o'clock now. Chen looked at his phone and was quite surprised. He felt that time passed so quickly that he even missed lunch time. At this moment, the stomach also began to strike and protest, making a gurgling sound. Rubbing his stomach, Chen prepared to go to the cafeteria to see if there was any more food. If he rents a house, he can buy groceries and cook for himself, and he can try the fitness recipes provided by the system. Unfortunately, this condition is not available now. However, the plan to rent a house should be put on the agenda now. According to the housing prices around the school, he wants to rent a 3-bedroom, 1 living room, 1 bedroom, 1 gym, and 1 study. If you deposit 1 to 3, you may need to prepare around 15,000 yuan. As of now, his bank balance is nearly 6,000 yuan, excluding the balance in the system and deducting the cost of reporting to the gym. For a college student without any source of income, this can be considered a huge sum of money. But he is still a bit short of his rental goal. But it's okay, in just 2 more days, we should be able to save enough money. After having lunch in the cafeteria, Chen returned to the library. When he sat in his seat, there was a white paper folded into a square on top of the book. Chen opened it curiously with a puzzled expression on his face. Immediately, his expression was strange and his expression was quite unexpected. I saw several beautiful regular script words written on the white paper. Add a WeChat. VX****0821, Chen raised his head and scanned from side to side. Most of the girls lowered their heads to read or do exercises, except for a girl in a row of seats diagonally opposite, who stared at him with a burning gaze, not shy, confident and generous. It is undeniable that the girl's appearance is not inferior to the 2 goddesses Liao Ye and Du Yue in the class. Pursed his lips, Chen looked suspicious and thoughtful. Just as he was reborn, peach blossoms seemed to be flooding. Is it because the system was deliberately testing himself? Do you want to see if you can resist the temptation of beauty? As one of the core elements of self-discipline, resisting temptation, beauty can be considered a form of temptation that often leads people to become addicted to it, destroying their physical and mental health, and becoming a stumbling block on the path of self-discipline. If that's the case, then it can only be said that the system underestimates him. If even such temptation cannot be resisted, then what about self-discipline? He has no intention of having a romantic relationship with children, so naturally he won't waste too much time on this. Love itself is a thing that requires time and energy, and he is more willing to spend his time and energy on improving himself in order to have more choices in the future. Chen replied briefly on the paper, then folded it back and placed it in a corner of the table. Immediately, continue with the exercises. This series of actions is fully visible to the girl diagonally opposite. This already indicates that Chen did not intend to add her, otherwise she had already received a friend request. The result surprised her, made her quite surprised, and also undermined her confidence. Sitting next to her was a quiet girl wearing glasses, with a smile on her lips and a WeChat message on her phone. Let's eat too much. Let's treat you to Banu tonight. The girl snorted inwardly and replied, I don't have a time limit. Give me a week, and I will let him add me on WeChat. Gentle girl. Bet, Banu doubles. Chen didn't even realize that he had become the object of the girl's bet. Even if he did, he would laugh it off, just like a boy betting on pursuing a certain girl. Perhaps he didn't like it much, but just enjoyed the satisfaction after success. Coming out of the library, Fang Shuyao called him. This guy didn't even attend classes on Friday afternoon, so he ran out to take photos for the little sister. It is said to be privately filmed by the hotel, with endless spring scenery. As a master of private photography, Fang Shuyao has excellent photography skills and many girls have invited him to take photos. He has gained some fame within a specific circle. But the parties involved stated that encountering a beautiful little sister can indeed feast the eyes and sometimes even avoid each other. If you encounter a private subject with tank eyes, you can only finish filming with tears in your eyes. Whether during his college years or after graduation, Fang Shuyao lived a very carefree life. After graduation, he opened a photography studio with a high income, and his girlfriends changed one after another. He always saw travel updates on his social media, which really made people envy his life. Chen answered the phone, and Fang Shuyao's lewd and vulgar voice came from the receiver. Come out and sing, there are many girls' papers that you like. Good guy, you instantly piqued my interest. At this point, the zhaoshuyuan.com system appeared very timely. Ding, congratulations to the host. It's time for the multiple-choice question. Firstly, if you agree to your roommate's singing invitation, you will be awarded the title of singing expert. Secondly, if you refuse your roommate's singing invitation and go to the gym to exercise, you will gain 200 points of self-discipline, a cash reward of 2,000 yuan, and a weight loss card +2. Chen let out a bitter smile. This is the stumbling block on the road of self-discipline, with each one becoming more and more fierce. How to choose between the two is a question worth pondering. He solemnly stated that he had already planted the flag with firm determination just now, and that he must resist temptation and never waver in his beliefs at this critical moment. I won't go anymore. I just registered for a gym and I'm going to work out tonight. You can play to your heart's content, Chen said somewhat insincerely. What kind of thing? Void. Fang Shuyao exclaimed in shock, a young body won't do. Let's learn about 36 flavored Rehmannia pills and let you regain your strength. Get out of here, you. Come on, I won't talk to you anymore. It's still the same place. Just come over before 8 o'clock. Chen said helplessly, I'm not joking, I really go to the gym. Fang Shuyao was surprised and said, Old Chen, you're not right. You shouldn't go to the gym to pick up your sister, right? Let me tell you, this time the girl's paper is of high quality, with white skin, beautiful appearance, and long legs. You have all the elements you like, such as black silk, suspenders, and pleated skirts. Isn't it more fragrant than a gym? Chen. Feng Shuyao, you beast, deliberately poke my soft spot. Labor and capital would rather die than go. Feng Shuyao laughed and cursed, don't pretend to be forced, come quickly. I can't handle the 3 girls on my own. I need you to support the situation. Chapter 6. Caring for my brother's good sister. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chen compromised. Of course, this has nothing to do with black silk suspenders and pleated skirts. He asked himself if he could resist this temptation. Mainly because Feng Shuyao had already talked about it, Chen couldn't refuse anymore. Sometimes we cannot blindly follow the rules. After all, the martial arts world is not about fighting and killing, but about human relationships and worldly wisdom. However, there is still plenty of time, and Chen plans to go to the gym to exercise before making the appointment. There are still 3 hours left, which is completely in time. Unfortunately, this wave of rewards is not worth it. Returning to the dormitory, Xiao Yu, this pig, finally woke up and was lying at the computer desk, continuing to play games. Upon hearing the sound of the dormitory door being opened, Xiao Yu turned her head and saw the refreshed Chen. She exclaimed in surprise, sleeping trough, Chioha, you have been taken care of. You have taken the path of a little white face. Chen did not argue that being taken care of by a wealthy woman was a recognition of his own appearance. He smiled and said, as the saying goes, rich women are good, rich women are fragrant. Rich women are a ray of light in the darkness, as long as they hold on to it and move into the big villa overnight. Xiao Yu exclaimed in shock, you truly deserve to be my autumn brother. You're such a bitch. I'm flattered. I'll also introduce one to you later, Just a few idle words, Chen packed his newly bought fitness suit, put it in his handbag, and then changed into Antaz sports shoes. Brother Chiu, what are you going for? Xiao Yu asked curiously. Go to the gym, Chen casually replied, do you need a strong physique to serve a wealthy woman? What else can Xiao Yu say? Autumn River is amazing. Shijue Gym. Starting from this time, Chen plans to adopt a systematic fitness plan for training. Firstly, Chen jogged on the treadmill for 10 minutes to do a simple warm-up. Immediately, we arrived at the equipment area for formal training. However, there is still a significant difference between practice and theory. Taking his instrument sitting posture as an example, Chen has been unable to find the force point described by the system. Originally, he was training his back, but his arms were always subjected to excessive force, resulting in soreness and unable to achieve the desired effect. Chen sighed and said helplessly, I still have too little experience in fitness. Although the plan provided by the system is extremely detailed, it cannot provide personal guidance for him. No matter how strong the theoretical knowledge is, it is also versatile if it cannot be applied to practice. Your posture is not quite right, and the equipment has not been adjusted properly. A soft female voice rang out from behind, and Chen turned his head to look. Behind him stood a tall, plump and graceful woman wearing a black sports suit, with a mature temperament. Her long hair was tied into a ball-shaped head, with a hint of cute and playful charm in between. Hello. Chen said hello. She responded with a smile and immediately stepped forward to help Chen adjust the equipment, correcting her mistake. Your arms should be held in this way, and during the pulling down process, apply force in this position and try to relax your arms as much as possible. Chen followed her method, and after 2 consecutive movements, it was indeed effective, which surprised him a bit. Sure enough, it still requires professional guidance. Chen was a bit tempted and wanted to sign up for this female coach's private teaching class. But thinking about the balance on my card, I still feel like waiting a little longer. Currently, the top priority is renting a house. After staying in the gym for 2 hours, harvesting a wave of rewards, Chen left gracefully. Seeing that it was still early, Chen had something to eat at the nearby kanji shop. In the evening, he had to drink. He had better treat himself to the 5 Zong temples first. The old place that Fang Xiao mentioned is a popcorn shop not far from the campus, adjacent to the university city, with good business, and filled with brightly dressed little girls inside. Chen arrived here by light car and followed the room number given by Fang Xiao. He walked through the corridor and arrived at the entrance of VIP 666's private room. Before he could enter, he could hear the singing and the lewd and vulgar voice that belonged exclusively to someone in the private room. Chen pushed the door open and entered. The scene and characters inside were quickly recognized by him, and a smile on the corner of his mouth appeared slightly. "Oh my buddy is here. Come on, let me introduce you to." Fang Xiao stood up and said enthusiastically, "My roommate and good buddy, Chen is very handsome. Currently single, you can take what you like home." After the introduction, Fang Xiao sneered in Chen ear, "You said you don't want to come, you're almost pretending to be in the sky. Nima, you're dressed in a dog-like outfit, and you even shaved an inch. You're almost taking away the limelight of labor and capital." Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly and could only defend himself in his heart. He really didn't plan to come, didn't he come to support your dog day and cause him to lose 2,000 yuan? However, as Fang Xiao said, these are all his favorite elements. Although he lost 2,000 yuan, it was not in vain. The eyes of the 3 sisters in the private room rolled around Chen revealing surprise and joy. I didn't take this unseen roommate seriously, but who knew he was really a handsome guy? "Hi, handsome guy." The girl who was holding the microphone and singing stopped, staring at Chen enthusiastically. "You came too late. We've all had 2 rounds, so we'll get 3 drinks first." Chen looked at her with a bright expression. "This student looks very lively and has a decent appearance, so there's no need for Liaoye and Du Yue to be inferior. Looking for Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com, the key is that her attire is faintly exciting. The black leather skirt on the lower body is paired with small leather boots, and the fair long legs are covered by black fishing net socks, which is full of allure. Although wearing a loose brown suit on her upper body, she only wore a black lace bra inside, with sharp collarbones and a flat lower abdomen, indicating that she has a good figure. Chen was not afraid of the stage and joked, "Good guy, he just came here and wanted to get me drunk. Is there any intention towards me?" "Oh my, what kind of intentions can they have? It's not that the weather is too hot, I'm worried you're thirsty." The girl in the small leather skirt is naturally familiar and answered quickly. Chen smiled and said, "I was wrong. It turns out that she is a good sister who cares for her brother." "Ha ha ha. Surprisingly taking advantage of me, calling me sister, is more like that." "Handsome guy, you're so funny." Fang Xiao interjected, "I haven't introduced myself yet. Is it okay for my brother and sister to call on me? I don't think I need to introduce myself anymore." "Haha, you are no longer needed." The little leather pants girl took the initiative to introduce, "We are all from Heston International College, and like you, we are currently in freshman year. My name is Wu Yin, and these are my 2 little sisters, Jiang Yuan and Zhao Mengmeng." Chen was surprised to find out that it was from Heston College. Although it was a second-tier university, it was a prestigious institution with high tuition fees, but the environment was quite good. As for the other 2 girls, Zhao Mengmeng appears a bit shy, wearing a JK uniform, with round faces and a bit cute. The remaining one, named Jiang Yuan, was clearly Fang Xiao's target, wearing a loose camisole and denim shorts, with a faint tattoo visible on his chest. She held an cigarette in her hand, occasionally taking a sip, and the air was filled with a scent of mint. Chapter 7. Love Like a Tide. You are listening at novelfull.audio. According to Chinchilha's preferences, he can still accept tattoos, but girls who smoke are relatively indifferent. However, he came here to sing happily and help Fang Shuyao to make a scene, not to cause anything to happen. Chinchilha opened a can of beer and lifted it up, saying, "Nice to meet everyone. Let's have a drink together. Feel free, I'll do it." "Wow, come on, cheers. Cheers. Roar, look at how bright brother Chilha is. Autumn brother Nyo Pai. Dot. Chinchilha sneered inwardly, "Brother, I'll give you a can to scare you. I'll play games later and make you vomit." In the years after graduation, he followed his leaders to various drinking parties. Whether it was playing games or drinking alcohol, it was not a problem. However, it was true that he had overdrawn his body. Since he had started over again, he would definitely not act recklessly like before. Alcohol can be consumed, but it must be restrained. These little girls are not the old fogies in the liquor bureau. They don't have to deal with them. Chinchilha doesn't need to drink so much wine at all, so they can defeat them. Drinking too much is boring. What game were you playing just now? Keep going. Chinchilha naturally sat on the sofa, next to Zhao Mengmeng wearing a JK uniform. Just now he noticed this girl, who appeared much more restrained and quiet compared to the lively and hot personalities of Wu Yin and Jiang Yuan. Obviously, Zhao Mengmeng rarely participates in such activities, or she has an introverted personality and is not good at talking. From her eyes, it can actually be seen that she yearns to participate in everyone's happiness, like Wu Yin, to liven up the atmosphere anytime and anywhere. But limited by her own personality or abilities, she is unable to step out of her comfort zone. In addition, Chinchilha sitting next to her made her heart beat faster, and the small hand with nowhere to place it was enough to indicate her inner restlessness. Many people are like this, with a wild lion living in their hearts, but on the surface, they are gentle and weak sheep. As soon as Chinchilha finished speaking, Wu Yin responded, "Then let's still play dice." "I had several drinks just now." Jiang Yuan took a sip of her cigarette and stood up. "You guys play first, I'll go sing a song and wake up." Fang Shuyao continued, "Singing is Lao Chen's strong suit. I'll have your brother Chilha sing a song later." Wu Yin's eyes brightened and she said to Chinchilha, "Well, if you lose later, sing a song for sisters to enjoy." "Hee, no problem, as long as you don't mind my unpleasant singing." Chinchilha skillfully picked up the dice cup, shook it in the air a few times, and slapped it on the table with a faint smile. "Let's start." Wu Yin raised her eyebrows and said with a tsk, "You look like an old hand." Immediately, she also held the dice cup in her hand and showed off her skills, not to mention giving up. Obviously, she was also a regular at the table. Chinchilha glanced at Zhao Mengmeng. Zhao Mengmeng said weakly, "I'm not very good at playing, just play." Wu Yin interjected, "Mengmeng is my cousin. She can't drink alcohol, please don't make her drink." Are you two still cousins?" Chinchilha was surprised. "Sisters Hua. How could I drink my cousin's wine?" Chinchilha chuckled, "It's okay not to drink. Don't delay playing together, otherwise it would be so boring." "Alright, I'll play with my cousin. You're responsible for rolling the dice, and if you lose, it's mine." Fang Shuyao said speechlessly, "Wow, you're quick enough to recognize your cousin. You've even called her, have you obtained their consent?" Chinchilha innocently said, "Isn't this a bit more friendly?" Zhao Mengmeng's face turned slightly red, and Chinchilha called her cousin, which made her feel a bit strange. For Chinchilha, she is not averse, but rather willing to engage in this kind of conversation that brings distance. After all, which girl can refuse someone who is handsome and has a sense of humor? Wu Yin rolled her eyes beside her and said, "Stop teasing our cute family. Let's start now, brother Chiu." Chinchilha looked at the points inside the dice cup, then leaned aside and whispered in Zhao Mengmeng's ear, "You come and shout, just shout 5 5s." Zhao Mengmeng's heartbeat quickened a bit, and she let out a soft and sticky hum before saying, 5-5. 7-4. Fang Shuyao followed closely. Wu Yin glanced at the two of them, pondered for a moment, and said, 8-5s. I'm driving you. Chen chuckled and lifted the dice cup. I only have one. Fang Shuyao laughed heartily and said, Wu Yin, you're cold. I have two, unless you're all 5 inside. Wu Yin said speechlessly, Chen, you trick me. You only have 1 5, dare you shout 5-5. It's not me shouting, it's cute shouting, Chen smiled. Regardless of anything else, Wu Yin has a relatively straightforward personality. She gulped down a glass of beer and was willing to give up. The game itself is played with routines and calculations, and it is easy to play with a little more brain power, but of course, it also relies on some luck. After playing 7 or 8 games in a row, Wu Yin lost 4 times because Chen seized the opportunity and opened her up, which made her very crazy. Fang Shuyao lost 3 times, while Chen only lost once. Chen finally lost once. Wu Yin didn't let him drink, but instead asked him to sing a song, which happened to be a temporary break. Then I'll make a fool of myself. Find Shuyuan www.zhaoshuyuan.com. Chen didn't hesitate and chose his favorite song, Zhang Xinjia's Love Was Like a Tide. Although singing cannot be considered a meal in society, performing well in college can also be considered a flirting skill. Chen held the microphone, sat on a high chair, looked at the lyrics on the screen, and slowly spoke. I don't ask why you shed tears, I don't care who else is in your heart, and let me comfort you whether the ending is happy or sad. Wow, not bad. Are you the true Zhang Xinjia? Wu Yin exclaimed in surprise, her eyes shining brightly. She thought to herself, Fang Shuyao's roommate is really high quality. She has a good appearance, is humorous and not stiff, and sings so well. If her figure were even better, it would be perfect. After all, she has no resistance to boys with good physique and abdominal muscles. Zhao Mengmeng also stared at Chen in surprise, her eyes shining brightly. Seeing Chen gaze towards her, she was too shy to look at each other. After a few seconds, she secretly turned her gaze towards Chen like a young girl in love. At the end of the song, everyone applauded and praised, gaining a wave of goodwill. Chen sat back on the sofa. Come on, keep going, there's still more than half of the wine to drink. Chen livened up the atmosphere as the game continued. Jiang Yuan also joined in, probably because Chen sang too well. She felt embarrassed to sing again, as there would be no harm without comparison. Under the stimulation of alcohol, everyone gradually became excited, and the cans of beer in front of the table were eliminated one after another. I don't know how many rounds he drank, but Chen suddenly realized that Fang Shuyao was gone, and Jiang Yuan was also nowhere to be seen. In the private room, only he, Wu Yin, and Zhao Mengmeng remained. Chapter 8. Don't move. Be honest. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wu Yin's face turned red with a hint of drunkenness, but she was still enthusiastic about playing games with Chen 15-15. 10. 15-15. 15. 15-15. 20. 15-15. 15. The two of them were playing a guessing game, and it was obvious that Wu Yin had lost again. Chen smiled and said, all right, stop drinking. If you drink again, you'll get drunk. I'll have to help you back then. Woo. Willing to gamble and admit defeat. Wu Yin took a sip of her glass and immediately rolled her eyes at Chen saying, I am as beautiful as a flower and as beautiful as a fairy. I am willing to let you hold me in my arms. Aren't you willing? I think you have drunk too much, Chen laughed. He admitted that this little girl has some beauty, but words like flowers and jade, and seemingly heavenly immortals, are not related at all. Zhao Mengmeng, standing beside Chinchilla Chong, whispered, "Your cousin seems to have drunk too much and started talking nonsense. It's better for you to have good self-control, not to drink alcohol, and maintain this excellent quality. Otherwise, drinking too much can easily be taken advantage of by others." Zhao Mengmeng has become familiar with Chinchilla a lot and talked more. Taking a glance at her cousin's charming and silly appearance, she secretly smiled and immediately said, "It's not that I have good self-control, it's mainly because I blush when I drink alcohol and pour out a glass. I've found that you're really good at playing games. Even my cousin isn't your match, so you definitely come out to play a lot." Zhao Mengmeng continued, realizing that chatting with Chinchilla gave her a very pleasant feeling. Chinchilla didn't answer, but said, "Playing games is actually very simple. I can teach you when I have time." "Alright," Zhao Mengmeng said with a hint of joy in her eyes and eyebrows, "let's add a WeChat account and come out to play together when we have time in the future." After speaking, she began to admire herself. In normal times, she couldn't say such words and didn't know where the courage came from earlier. Chinchilla did not refuse, and the two happily added WeChat. Wu Yin across from her completely ignored the chatter and laughter between the two of them, feeling a bit sour in her heart. She was dissatisfied and said, "What are you two whispering? Are you still playing games?" Chinchilla looked at his watch and realized that it was getting late. He had almost finished playing today and it was time to finish. "I have to wake up early tomorrow morning to exercise." He suddenly thought of the fat loss card rewarded by the system. Although he didn't drink much alcohol, he might as well try the effect. Chinchilla opened the system, issued instructions, and used the fat-reducing card. Ding, unfortunately, the fat loss card function was not successfully triggered. Host, damn it. I knew it would be like this. Chinchilla muttered, the 10% chance of success is really not easy to trigger. Let's do it this way. After the system rewards a few more cards, stack them and use them to test the effect. Chinchilla stood up and said to Wu Yin, "I won't drink for now. I'll call Feng Shuyao. I don't know where this guy has gone." "What do you care about them? Let's drink ours," Wu Yin shouted. Chinchilla was speechless and ignored her. He walked outside the private room and dialed Feng Shuyao's phone number. The earpiece beeped for a while before it finally answered Feng Shuyao's voice. "Hey, whoa, what's up, Lao Chen? Where have you been?" Chinchilla asked. Feng Shuyao's voice interrupted, Yuan and I, "Whoa, come out to eat. Have dinner tonight, Wu you don't have to worry about me, play with you. That's it, hang up." Chinchilla had a strange expression on his face and let out a muffled sound. "Feng Shuyao from Goeri, are you eating late-night snacks? Labor and capital don't care about you. These two people probably have been hanging out together long ago, otherwise progress wouldn't have been so rapid. At present, Chinchilla has no interest in such matters. His current goal is to quickly improve his physique, supplement his subject knowledge, achieve excellent results in the final exams, and accumulate a considerable amount of wealth." Chinchilla went back to the private room and said to the two sisters, "They have gone out for supper. I don't think they will come back. Let's end it." Let's play for a while, what time is it?" Wu Yin pouted. Chinchilla couldn't help but say, "First, stand up and take a few steps to see if you can get out of this private room." Wu Yin was not convinced and snorted, "You underestimate me too much, where are you?" After speaking, she lifted her small buttocks and stood up, unsure if it was a sudden surge or if she had really drunk too much. Her figure didn't stabilize and she stumbled for 2 steps before leaning back and about to fall to the ground. Chinchilla looked helpless and stepped forward to arm her, supporting her. Wu Yin felt dizzy when she didn't come, leaning on Chinchilla's shoulder. Her footsteps were floating, and she clearly had a surge of alcohol, making it difficult to walk. "Meng, pack up your things and leave." Chinchilla ordered Zhao Meng, then grabbed Wu Yin's waist with his right hand and carried her out of the private room. "I'm fine, I can still walk." Wu Yin felt dizzy and wanted to break free from Chen Qiuhe's arm. "Don't move. Be honest," Chen Qiuhe scolded. Chen Qiuhe is the most annoying person of this kind. If he can't drink, he still insists on showing off. He doesn't even count a few pounds or even a few taels. But whether she's not good or not, relying solely on Zhao Mengmeng's small physique can't withstand Wu Yin's drunken cat. Feng Shuyao, this dog day, has gone to have a good time on his own, and he still needs to handle the final work. If it were Chen Qiuhe from before, he might have gone straight to the hotel. But now he just wants to go back to bed early and wake up early tomorrow to continue training. Standing on the street corner, Chen Qiuhe said, "I'll call a car and take you back to school." Zhao Mengmeng, carrying a bag, shook her head and said, "My cousin and I rented a house outside of school and didn't live in a dormitory." Chen Qiuhe nodded and said that if he could attend the aristocratic school of Heston, his family should not be short of money. He stopped a taxi and arrived at the address given by Zhao Mengmeng in less than 20 minutes. Wu Yin was already asleep when she was in the car, and Chen Qiuhe dragged her out of the car. Speaking of which, if it weren't for Chen Qiuhe, Zhao Mengmeng wouldn't have been able to drag Wu Yin home alone. Zhaoshuyuan.com however, Wu Yin's drinking so much alcohol seemed to be related to him, Chen Qiuhe thought helplessly. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have been so serious with her. This little girl, too, insisted on pulling him to play games, purely at her own risk. Arriving at the 6th floor, Zhao Mengmeng opened the door with the key, and Chen Qiuhe helped Wu Yin lie down on the sofa. This little girl looked thin, drunk, and looked like a little fat pig, quite heavy, making his arms sore. Zhao Mengmeng put down the things in her hand and shyly said, "Thank you, otherwise I really can't touch my cousin myself." "It's a small matter," Chen Qiuhe said casually, and immediately looked at the small house. It was a 2-bedroom living room, clean, tidy, and tasteless room, decorated quite warmly. Her gaze glanced towards the balcony, and the various styles of lingerie hanging on it caught his attention, colorful and truly thought-provoking. Zhao Mengmeng followed his gaze and instantly blushed. It was the first time a boy had come to their place, and she forgot to put away her underwear first. Chen Qiuhe calmly withdrew his gaze and said lightly, "It's getting late, I'll go back first." Upon hearing that Chen Qiuhe was about to leave, Zhao Mengmeng couldn't help feeling embarrassed and shy. She hurriedly said, "You can take a break before leaving. I'll pour you a glass of water to drink." Chen Qiuhe stopped her and said, "No need, let's go. Do you have time to treat you to dinner?" Zhao Mengmeng looked forward to it, feeling a bit anxious and added, "With my cousin." "Well, let's talk about it." Chen Qiuhe smiled and turned around to leave. For Chen Qiuhe, this is just an episode in his life. Without Feng Shuyao, he would not know these two sisters. This world is too big, and compared to it, personal existence is simply too small. Chapter 9. Renting a house. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shijue Gym. Chen Qiuhe arrived here early in the morning carrying his bag. At this time, the 2nd floor gym was empty except for the coach. After all, few people come to the gym in the morning. It's only 6:30 and they are still dreaming in bed. I wasted a whole night yesterday and lost a lot of rewards, which made Chen Qiuhe feel a bit distressed. Today, I have to make up for it all. Ha! You came quite early. The beautiful coach was also there yesterday and greeted Chen Qiuhe. Chen Qiuhe's heart moved and he asked, "Coach, may I ask how much does your private teaching class cost per session?" He plans to enroll in private tutoring classes after renting the house, and he hopes to follow the plan provided by the system as soon as possible. Personal guidance from private tutoring is also essential, and he strives to achieve results within a month. Zena looked at him in surprise and walked up to the treadmill, asking, "Are you planning to enroll in private classes?" "I have this idea," Chen continued as he briskly walked on the treadmill, and I'm planning to enroll in your private tutoring class. Because I think your figure is quite perfect and very beautiful. Being able to train into such a figure, I think you should be a good private tutor. Being praised for her good figure in the early morning made Zina quite happy, and she secretly said that this kid can talk. From this guy's serious expression, it doesn't seem like a compliment. After all, he is really confident in his own figure. Zina smiled and said, if you want to enroll in my private tutoring class, of course I am very welcome. However, if you want to cultivate a good figure, it requires perseverance, which is not as simple as imagined. She said this to remind Chen that even if he wants to enroll in private teaching classes, he should consider carefully and not just apply for classes if his mind is too hot. When the time comes, he will spend 3 days fishing and 2 days browsing the internet. Isn't that a waste of money? She has many VIP students, many of whom cannot be urged every day and are evaded for various reasons. In her opinion, Chen is probably the kind of person with a hot head. After 3 minutes of enthusiasm, she is unlikely to be seen in the gym a week later. Chen didn't know what she was thinking, but smiled faintly and said, I don't know if I can persist, but I will do my best to achieve my goal. Zina chuckled and said, when are you planning to enroll in class? How about arranging it for you today? Her essential job is to be a coach, and she naturally hopes that students can enroll in her classes so that she can receive more commissions. Chen said lightly, in a few days, I'll first find my feelings. Well, that's okay. Zina didn't urge him either. It was a voluntary matter between both parties, and she didn't like to chase clients to enroll them, which was just annoying. At present, Chen is short of money and has not been able to achieve financial freedom. Otherwise, he could have enrolled in private teaching classes today. In the following days, Chen gave up all useless social activities and focused on studying and exercising. On that day, Chen was reading in the library when a system prompt came to his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host. After studying continuously for 3 hours, you will receive a monetary reward of 2,000 yuan and 200 points of self-discipline. Ding, congratulations to the host. With a total of 24 hours of learning, you will receive an additional learning incentive of 10,000 yuan, a lucky draw of 3, and 1,000 points of self-discipline. Your savings card account with card number 5323, transferred 12,000 yuan, with a balance of 27,362.58 yuan. Construction Bank, several consecutive prompts pulled Chen who was focused on learning, back to reality, and soon an excited expression appeared on his face. Awesome AO system, this reward is so generous. Chen heart is pounding, and the bank card balance is about to break 30,000. If you add the balance in the system, it will be a good 30,000 plus ocean. Chen murmured, you can go rent a house now. He closed his book and immediately stood up and walked out of the library. In the past 2 days, Chen has also browsed through houses online during his leisure time, and has also been interested in several properties, adding the phone numbers of several real estate agents. Chen took out his phone, pulled out the phone number of an intermediary, dialed it, and immediately said, hello, do you still have any vacant houses for rent in Zhongdu Mingyuan? Among the many properties that Chen has browsed, Zhongdu Mingyuan is the one he is most satisfied with. It is not only close to the school, but also to the gym, which saves him a lot of time. Meanwhile, nearby supermarkets, subways, hospitals, etc. are also very convenient. Moreover, Zhongdu Mingyuan is also a relatively high-end residential area. Although it is located in the city center, the built-in environment is very good, and the online evaluation is quite good. Fortunately, there are still many properties available in Zhongdu Mingyuan. The south gate of the school. Chen is waiting for the agent to come here, and then we will go to Zhongdu Mingyuan community to see the house together. A Havel parked at the corner, with a young man waving at Chen He was the agent contacted on the rental app, Chu Tao. Chen sat in the passenger seat, and Chu Tao enthusiastically said, "Let's take a look at all the famous gardens in our community. If you're not satisfied, I have several other good properties here that we can all go and see." "Well, it's possible," Chen said. The positioning of Zhongde Mingyuan is a high-end residential area, about 2 kilometers away from the school, and it can be reached by bike in 5 minutes. Turn right when you go out, it's the subway, and you can get to the Municipal People's Hospital within 2 stops. There is Yonghui Fruit Supermarket in front of the community, and not far away is Dennis Department Store. Chen followed the agent into the community. Firstly, the environment is good, and the green area of the community is very high. The agent led him to the 16th floor, which belongs to the middle floor and has a good location. This house has 3 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, and 2 bathrooms. The layout is square, with a spacious balcony in excellent lighting. In the afternoon, sitting on the balcony sunbathing and drinking afternoon tea is definitely a beautiful thing. Without much introduction from the intermediary, Chen was extremely satisfied in his heart. However, the price is higher than he expected. If it weren't for the system's extra reward of 10,000 yuan, he probably wouldn't be able to afford such a house. If classmates were to know that he rented such a good house, they would surely find it hard to believe that he was a second-generation wealthy person or was taken care of by a wealthy woman. The residential area where Wu Yin and Zhao Mengmeng live is just average. Fang Shuyao earns over 10,000 yuan per month, but he only lives in a 2-bedroom and 1 living room. Compared to him, living alone in a 3-bedroom and 1 living room is a bit luxurious. However, he currently earns over 5,000 yuan per day and is fully capable of supporting this expense, mainly because he has plans for several rooms and doesn't feel it's a waste. It took a whole afternoon to complete the rental process, and Chen got the door key as he had hoped. If he wants, he can stay in at night. Chen doesn't plan to use the things in the dormitory. He directly buys a complete set of new ones online, including bedding, kitchen utensils, living room decorations, fitness equipment, and so on. The originally abundant wallet immediately deflated again. The express delivery on the east side was quite fast, and it arrived one after another the next afternoon. After finishing classes in the afternoon, Chen didn't even return to the dormitory and headed straight to the new residential area, dedicating himself to the busyness of tidying up his room. Until 6 p.m., Chen finally renovated the house and gave it a warm feeling of home. Chen was in a good mood and took a few scene pictures with his phone, which he quickly posted on his social media. Since Chen has rented a house, he has not hidden it. Sooner or later, Fang Shuyao and these guys will also know. As expected, his post was less than 5 minutes old, and below the comments, there was a lot of lying down. Fang Shuyao, Xiao Yu, and Tan Hongwen, these 3 hardcore roommates were first shocked. I signed the contract a few days ago and the contract has also been sent out. It is estimated that the status will change in the next few days. If there is no investment, please do it as soon as possible. Chapter 10. 1 Kawasaki H-2 was selected. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Fang Shuyao. Sleeping slot. Xiao Yu. Sleeping slot. Tan Hongwen. Fang Shuyao. Big brother, are you stealing this picture? Xiao Yu. Brother Qiu, have you really been taken care of by a wealthy woman? In addition, there are also some girls who like and comment below. Wu Yin. The wealthy are by my side. Zhao Mengmeng. Watch the wealthy brother. Li Hanyang. Are you going to live off campus? Chen rested on the sofa, holding his phone and replying one by one. Fang Shuyao and Xiao Yu also had a private conversation with him. Chen directly initiated a 3-person video call. Brothers, have you been surprised? Chen chuckled. Sleeping slot. What a surprise. Fang Shuyao was eating in a certain shopping mall, and there was also a short-haired girl with a new face on camera. For Chen Qiuhe, it's nothing strange. Xiao Yu stayed in the dormitory and exclaimed exaggeratedly, "Brother Qiu, you really rented a house outside. Please send me the address, I'll go and spend the night there." Chen Qiuhe smiled lightly and said, "Come on, remember to take a shower before coming. I only have one bed here." Xiao Yu. Fang Shuyao was puzzled and said, "Old Chen, to be serious, what's your situation? Are you getting rich or really being taken care of? Suddenly, you're renting a house outside, and you dare to rent a Zhongdu Mingyuan or a bedroom slot. I've seen this community before, but I'm not willing to rent it." Chen Qiuhe casually said, "Take care of a ghost. I've made a fortune recently, and I won't reveal anything specific to you for now. But it's all legitimate income, don't think so?" Fang Shuyao chuckled and said, "That's good. Just don't engage in any illegal activities, you can't be vague about principles." "That won't happen, don't worry." Chen Qiuhe said, "He earns his wages through self-discipline, which can also be considered as labor income." Xiao Yu. "Brother Qiu, will you all live outside in the future? Isn't Hongwen and I all alone now? Hongwen often goes home to live, and I'm the only lonely old man left." Chen Qiuhe said, "Don't worry, I will still live in the dormitory frequently. You won't be lonely." Xiao Yu. "I believe you're a ghost. That's what Lao Fang said before. Have you seen him stay in the dormitory a few times?" Fang Shuyao. Chen Qiuhe laughed heartily. "Fang Shuyao is a dark knight. Can you expect him to sleep in the dormitory? I'm talking about Brother Qiu." Xiao Yu sneered, "You've moved into a new house. Why don't you celebrate?" "Of course, I don't have any intention of making a living." "What do you mean, then?" "Joel, your face is getting rounder and rounder, but it's not restrained yet." Chen Qiuhe secretly complained, and immediately said, "No problem. Come here tomorrow night and eat hot pot. I'll buy some food in advance." Fang Shuyao is also a lively host. When he heard that he wanted to celebrate Hai Pai, he also agreed, "Hot pot is great. I love eating hot pot. But it's too boring for just a few of us, why not? How about calling a few more girls, right? Old urination." Chen Qiuhe interjected, I understand. Are you a girl who doesn't like you?" "Huh, old Chen knows me too." Fang Shuyao sneered. After the brothers finished their video call, Chen Qiuhe checked the system information. His current bank balance is less than 2,000, and apart from renting a house and purchasing household items, he has very little left. Host. Chen Qiuhe current level. Level 1 experience required for upgrade. 3520/10,000 balance. 10,800 mol. Level 1 lottery. 3 Seeing this data, Chen Qiuhe was a little happier and withdrew 10,000 yuan from the system balance to his bank account. The 3 lucky draw opportunities that were awarded yesterday were not used yet. Chen Qiuhe is ready to give it a try. In the system interface, a large lucky wheel appears with a button to start the lottery. Chen Qiuhe gave instructions subconsciously, and the turntable quickly rotated, eventually pointing to 1 point. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining a ballpoint pen. Holy crap, Chen Qiuhe is speechless, the system of the pit father. Do I lack your ballpoint pen? After a few complaints, Chen Qiuhe drew for the second time. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining an Apple laptop. Hey, this is not bad. Chen Qiuhe is overjoyed. He is planning to buy a laptop, after all, as a computer science student, how can he do without a computer? Chen Qiuhe chose to extract the prize into reality, located on the coffee table. After extraction, an unopened Apple notebook appeared out of thin air on the coffee table. Chinchilla couldn't wait to open it, but it turned out to be the latest version of the Apple laptop, with an online price of over 10,000 yuan. This wave can be considered a blood profit. Chinchilla was satisfied and continued the lottery. Ding, congratulations to the host. We have obtained one Kawasaki H-2 motorcycle, which comes with a motorcycle driver's license, professional driving skills, and a Kawasaki customized limited edition helmet. Chinchilla was stunned, thinking he had heard the wrong thing. A few seconds later, he bounced up directly from the sofa and shouted, "Kawasaki H-2. How could I have unexpectedly drawn a Kawasaki motorcycle? What kind of explosive luck is this? System bull batch." At this moment, Chinchilla's mood can be summarized in 2 words. Blood boiling. My heart is surging. Compared to sports cars, Chinchilla is more fond of motorcycles. If you have to explain the reason, it is that the 2 and 4 rounds give people completely different intuitive feelings. Sitting in a car, you are only confined to a small space, and even the fastest speed cannot give you the most authentic feeling. And riding on a motorcycle, you will truly feel Su Wei's lyrics. I am as free as the wind. That is an immersive shock. After all, the 4 wheels carry the body, while the 2 wheels carry the soul. After calming down his restless mood, Chinchilla asked, the system, helmet, and driver's license are easy to extract. How about extracting motorcycles? They can't be directly extracted into my room, can they? System. Host doesn't have to worry, you can retrieve it from the underground garage and find Shuyuan www.xiaoshuyuan.com. This system can block all surveillance for you without worrying about being discovered. That's good. The system is reliable. Chinchilla didn't have the heart to rest on the sofa. He washed himself up as quickly as possible and dressed neatly. He can no longer control the impulse in his crotch and wants to ride a special horse. Chinchilla specially wore a black casual sportswear and immediately extracted his helmet and driver's license. He also clicked to learn professional driving skills. Looking at the black helmet with the Kawasaki logo appearing on the bed, Chinchilla couldn't help but stroke it and then put it on his head. The size is just right. You're really amazing. Chinchilla looked in the mirror, feeling extremely satisfied inside. After admiring himself for a few minutes, Chinchilla took his helmet and went to the underground garage. He deliberately found a vacant spot in the corner and issued a command to the system to extract the motorcycle. Next second, a cool black motorcycle suddenly appeared in the empty seat. The brand new car body and stylish design gave Chinchilla goosebumps in excitement. The system has been filled up with fuel very thoughtfully, and the license plate procedures are also complete, so there is no need to worry about being checked. Chinchilla couldn't hold back his legs and rode on. Immediately insert the key into the hole and press the ignition switch. Boom! The roar of the 4-cylinder power, heard in Chinchilla's ears, was as beautiful as the sound of heaven. It is said that men love to hear 2 types of sounds the most. The screams of women. The roar of the engine. Really damn it. Shift gears and turn the accelerator. Chinchilla rode his motorcycle, like a ghost in the darkness, rushing out of the underground garage.